The summer heat shimmered on the quiet suburban street as Sarah pulled into her driveway, her car sputtering like it was taking its last breath. She sighed, leaning forward on the steering wheel. "Come on, don't do this to me now," she murmured, giving the dashboard a gentle tap. The old silver sedan coughed one last time before dying completely. Sarah was a 34-year-old middle school teacher who had learned to balance life's many challenges with humor and grace. But that day, after a long week of grading papers and attending meetings, a broken car was the last thing she needed. She stepped out, shielding her eyes from the sun. The air smelled faintly of gasoline and warm asphalt. "Well, that's just perfect," she muttered, grabbing her phone. She scrolled through her contacts, pausing at one familiar name, Ethan. Her 17-year-old nephew had always loved fixing things. From radios to bicycles, he had a knack for figuring things out. She hesitated for a moment. "He's probably busy," she said to herself. But before she could overthink it, she tapped call. "Hey Aunt Sarah," Ethan's cheerful voice came through. "What's up?" "Hey kiddo, my car gave up on me. I was wondering if you could take a look. I know it's your day off, so no pressure." "Are you kidding? I'd love to. Be there in 20 minutes, he replied with enthusiasm. Sarah smiled. Ethan had always been that kind of person, full of life, eager to help, and respectful. She walked into her small house to make some lemonade while waiting. When Ethan arrived, his old pickup truck rattled to a stop in front of the driveway. He hopped out, wearing his favorite baseball cap and a grin that could brighten anyone's day. "Let's see what we've got here," he said, popping open the car's hood. Sarah stood nearby, handing him a rag. "I think it overheated again. It's been struggling for weeks." Ethan leaned over, studying the engine carefully. Looks like your coolant line's cracked. Might need a replacement, but I can patch it for now." She watched in admiration as he worked, focused, calm, methodical. The boy who once spent hours building toy robots in her living room was now almost an adult, solving real problems. "You're really good at this," she said. He shrugged modestly. "Dad taught me the basics. Guess I just like fixing things." They spent the next 2 hours chatting about life, her students, his plans after high school, the little things that made their days brighter. When the sun reached its peak, Sarah disappeared into the kitchen and returned with 2 tall glasses of lemonade. "Break time," she said with a playful tone. Ethan chuckled, setting his wrench down. "You're the best, Aunt Sarah." After some rest, he went back to work. The sound of clinking tools and the hum of effort filled the air. Finally, after one last adjustment, Ethan straightened up and wiped his hands. "Try it now." Sarah slid into the driver's seat, turned the key, and to her delight, the engine roared back to life. "You did it," she exclaimed, clapping her hands. Ethan grinned proudly. "Told you it just needed some love." She laughed, getting out to hug him. "Thank you, Ethan. You saved my weekend." But just as she was about to grab her purse to pay him, Ethan held up a hand. "Wait, I've got something else." He reached into his backpack and pulled out a small, neatly wrapped box. "What's this?" she asked, surprised. "Open it," he said softly. Inside was a simple wooden frame, holding an old photo of Sarah and Ethan from years ago. He was just a kid then, missing a front tooth, standing next to her at his first school science fair. Sarah's eyes welled up. "Ethan, where did you find this?" "It was in Grandma's attic," he said with a shy smile. "I thought you'd want it. You always told me that was the day I started believing in myself. You stayed with me that whole day even when my project broke. I never forgot that." She blinked back tears, her heart swelling with pride and emotion. "You have no idea how much this means to me." Ethan shrugged. "You've done a lot for me. Fixing your car is nothing compared to that." For a moment, the world stood still. The sound of cicadas buzzed softly in the background, and the sunlight painted golden streaks across the driveway. It wasn't just about a car anymore, it was about gratitude, love, and the quiet strength that families give one another. Sarah placed a hand on his shoulder. "You've grown into such an incredible young man. I'm so proud of you." He smiled. "Thanks, Aunt Sarah. And hey, if that car ever breaks down again, you know who to call." They laughed, the air filled with warmth and relief. Later that evening, as the sun began to set, Sarah stood by the window, looking at the framed photo now sitting on her mantel. The memory of that day felt alive again. The same care she once gave a little boy had returned years later, stronger and more meaningful. She realized something profound: kindness always comes full circle. That night, she sent Ethan a message: "Thank you again. Not just for fixing my car, but for reminding me why family is everything. Ethan replied with a heart emoji and a simple line, "You taught me that, Aunt Sarah." As she turned off the light, Sarah smiled, feeling peaceful. Life had its broken parts, just like that old car, but with love and patience, everything could be fixed.